I'm Cesar Delgado from Back Roads of Illinois podcast. Welcome to the show with us. I am joining with Chris Gould from Maple Park, Illinois. Chris is a farmer and member of Illinois Corn Growers Association and Illinois Soybean Association as well. How are things in the farm in Maple Park?
Very good. We wrapped up harvest on Wednesday. Today's Friday, so 2 days ago, and we're starting to get equipment cleaned up and keep going on tillage to try to get that wrapped up in the next few days as well. So feeling pretty good to have harvest behind us.
Great to hear that. Let's go to talk about your experience with these organizations, Illinois Corn Growers Association and Illinois Soybean Association, in your career. Could you tell our listeners about this topic?
Well, I have honestly more experience with corn growers, and that's not for any reason other than I was involved at the county level for a few years a while back, and then a year ago next week, I was elected a state director of Illinois Corn. So I feel like, I mean, it's been a year, but there's a lot going on, and I still feel like I'm learning the ropes for corn growers and what they do and what they're involved in and how the whole process works.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. For this on soybean, I'm not directly, and I'm a member, but I'm not involved in the board or anything like that. I guess I'm involved in the sense that, of course, I'm a corn farmer as well as a soybean farmer, and that the Soybean Association and the corn growers work closely together on a number of issues, and I think that's a good thing. And I'm happy that they're working together. I mean, at least in Illinois, it's usually the same people that are corn farmers and soybean farmers.
Chris, you're a veteran of the United States Navy. How did you decide to back to the farm?
Well, I didn't so much decide to come back to the farm as I decided to get out of the Navy. I had been in for 10 years, and it was a wonderful experience. And I always say I would do it again in a second. I just didn't want to do it forever. So we got to a point in my career where it made sense that I could get out. And we moved back to the area. I mean, I wasn't immediately involved in the farming operation. That just sort of evolved over time. But I've always loved it in this area. I've loved being involved in the farm and being around the farm, and it was a pretty easy move to start getting re-engaged in the farming business.
How are the yields from this season? Could you give your opinion on that?
Sure. Well, I guess I would say what I think a lot of people around here are saying, and that is soybean yields were a bit of a disappointment, and corn yields were a bit of a pleasant surprise. So I guess, on the whole, not a bad year. We're still adding everything up and combing through scale tickets, but a lot of good corn yields and a few good bean yields, but also a few disappointing.
Finally, what is your advice to young people who want to be in the agricultural industry?
Gosh, I guess I would say there are lots of opportunities for sure in ag business. Study hard, and you'll have an opportunity. Don't be afraid to try different things. And if it's production agriculture specifically that somebody's interested in, that's a tougher one because it's hard. It's just such a capital intensive business. It's hard to get started from scratch, but hopefully you have a family member or somebody that can help you get started. But I think the future's bright. I think there's a lot of opportunity, and I would encourage it if anybody has the interest, go for it. Well, I'm not sure what your interests are, but I'm sure that there are options, there's sales, there's agronomy. I'm more involved in the crop side of things. I'm not as familiar with the livestock production, but um, that's a whole different realm that is out there. And I mean, I'm not super familiar with the the agribusiness and specifically the HR side of agribusiness, but you just keep hearing about how there's a shortage of applicants for a lot of roles.
You said work hard and study hard.
Yeah, I think that's a good indicator. I mean, to a potential employer of what your work ethic is. I mean, of course, in addition to learning about what your potential field of interest is.
Is there anything would you like to talk about Illinois Corn Growers Association?
Well, like I said, I've been on the state board for 1 year. I feel like I'm still kind of learning the ropes. Um, I think it's an organization that is working really hard to promote its members' interests. And I guess I would encourage members to try to follow. I know it's hard. It takes time. You got to read more emails or go to more websites and read more or whatever. But to try to follow what corn and soy, for that matter, what they're trying to do on the farmers' behalf in Springfield, in DC, with regulators. Um, they really are working hard to try to promote the industry. So I guess I'll leave it at that because there, we could talk a long time about all their different efforts with Farm Bill, with ethanol, um, with trying to make ethanol more competitive with renewable um, alternative energy sources. There's a lot going on, but it could take a while.
My pleasure that you joined the show for today. What an honor that you joined our show for this morning.
Well, I'm glad I could do it.